Pudders, My Hero Academia Vigilantes episode 5, Judgment. We don't find out why this episode is called Judgment until the very end with that man STENDHAL. But before we get into there, let's just talk about some of the lore dumps we got this episode, extended backstory for Koichi and Popstep, and how they met years ago. A couple years ago, back when Koichi was in middle school, he jumped in a river and saved who he thought was a little boy from drowning, even though they were never really drowning. They were just in shock, you know, some kid vibes. And it turned out that was Popstep, and she's held on to the memory of Koichi this whole time. You know what's crazy? After this episode, I went back to episode 1 to see the first interaction we see between Popstep and Koichi, and it's crazy because as she is doing the show, she's up there using float. Koichi's kind of just watching a little bit, and then he slides and glides away, and he says people tend to admire those they look up at and look down at those they look down at. That hits in connection with this episode because we find out that Popstep has been admiring Koichi this whole time and has regarded him as a hero. Not to mention that Koichi gave up on his dream of entering hero school to save Popstep that day because he missed his exam. He had a dilemma where he was on the way to his exam, but he saw the situation going on and he ended up helping in the situation and missing his exam. I like when we get these type of connections because it really feels like the story is building, and it's not like so many episodes have passed, but the fact that our main characters are intertwined like this from before, it just adds a certain swag that I like. Now into the action of the episode, because we didn't just get lore dumps, we did get action. My Hero Academia Vigilantes is proving that it is an action-packed show. I don't think there's been an episode yet where we haven't gotten a fight. I'm calling him Rock and Roller. I don't know what his name really is, but it's the guy that gets hard. Pause. He's back on the loose, and guess what? He's wild. He's wildin', he gets into a fight with Koichi, and it's looking bad for Koichi, because all he can do is slide and glide. He don't really got no offense. Our offensive damage dealer, knocker outer, knuckle puncher, knuckle duster is nowhere to be found. He was busy doing something in this episode. I'm sure we'll find out more about what he was doing later, but you know, we gotta have some mysteries. And speaking of mysteries, the way that Koichi is saved in this episode is from this samurai looking dude, STENDHAL. He's able to fend off Rock and Roller until the cops come. I don't know why Popstep told Mr. Hard, Rock and Roller, whatever his name might be, that the cops was coming because he was able to escape, but not for too long. Because yeah, Rock and Roller, Mr. Hardbody, he was able to escape into an alley. But STENDHAL kept hunting him down, and he enacted his judgment and finished him off. It was a crazy scene. It was wild. Koichi actually is like looking up to this guy at this moment in time because he just thinks he's another vigilante. We see Queen Bee looking over this slinging like she's the puppet master or something, and it's just a complete mystery. What do you guys think is gonna happen? I thought this guy was on some good vibes, but maybe he's on some bad vibes. But maybe there just is no good and bad in this show for real. It's just everyone's trying to follow their own way, and we're seeing how that meshes together. I mean, there is bad because Queen Bee is a villain. She did say she is a villain, and she's spreading trigger across the city and whatnot. That is bad. I don't think there's any redeeming. Koichi's good. He wants to be a hero, so that's good. One last thing that's crazy though is STENDHAL has pictures of the people that he's hunting down, and next up is the Wolverine looking dude that we saw back in episode 1, back in the alley. Remember episode 1? Good old episode 1. Yeah, Wolverine dude was gonna talk to Popstep and Koichi. They were gonna meet up, but then it got all weird. But it's looking like, you know, we might have to protect him next episode. He might end up being a good guy soon. What do y'all think is gonna go down in episode 6? What's gonna happen next time we run into STENDHAL? Will he be a friend or will he be a foe? Because what's he gonna do when you get in the way of him eliminating his target? Then again, it looks like he handles his business for real in private and doesn't want to be found out for who he truly is. He was in the dark alley, no one was looking. Queen Bee was looking. Did he notice her? I don't know. But this episode was fire. I'm going to give it a B+. Let me know what y'all thought about the episode. Please do, man. In the comments, let me know what you rate it. Hit that like if you made it this far. Hit that sub if you're new. Pain Pudders. I will see you guys next episode.